All right. Low key. Let me get this set up, bro. I haven't done a video in a quick second. I recorded like 3 or 4, but I just ended up not posting any of them because either they were just like me rambling about some dumb stuff or whatever. My last one too, I kept on saying, that's a habit I'm trying to change. So, with that being said, what do we think of the hair? A little stubble? Anyways, I was journaling this morning. I was reading my book. I just started this book. It's gonna be, is it backwards? I think it's backwards. Anyways, I just started that book. And I was journaling because it just told me to write down like the 3 main things that I'm learning right now in the book is that writing down your bad habits, the consequences for not fixing your habits, and then what fixing your habit would look like. So like I'll give an example. I'm watching the game right now, so I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. I've low-key been a bum all day. I haven't really done much. I want to start knocking, dude. I think it's possible to land some jobs. All right. Here's what I was writing down. Wait. Here we go. How's your guys' day going? Be on the couch for real. All right. The Power of Focus, the book I'm reading. Bad habits list, what's holding me back. Here's what I wrote. Saying, quote unquote, between sentences. Sleep. Not being in bed or up at the best times. During the summer or like when I was working, I'd say I was up around 7:30 every morning, 7 o'clock. And I was in bed at 10:30 to like 11:30 range, which is really good. And just like the past month, I've kind of just fallen into just like, well, I'm not going to be up early tomorrow, so I might as well just like stay up tonight because whatever I can sleep in. Chelsea just scored. Anyways, yeah, I just haven't been really focusing on my sleep schedule too much, and so that's something that I really want to change. Another one is working out and not pushing as hard as I can and not getting all my steps in. So with working, like I would get like 25 to 30K steps a day. And that just hasn't been happening. I think my highest day in steps has been like 8K over this winter time, which is terrible. I think my steps yesterday were only like 5,000, which is really disappointing, which makes sense in why my weight has gone up like 1 or 2 pounds. It's just because I'm like, I've been restricting myself when I eat, but like I just haven't been walking or being active. So that's a habit I want to change, is getting my steps in and working as hard as possible when I'm in the gym. I think it's a big thing, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, to be in the gym. Just like, I feel like that's where everything starts. As an entrepreneur, just a person in general, like that's where everything starts, is in the gym. My dog's about to bark at the door. That's where everything starts, is in the gym. Like creating discipline in your personal life to your body gives you so much more of an advantage, because you just like, you realize that anything's possible, and that if you continue to put in the hard work, you'll see progress in your weight, in your physique, whatever. That I just did a bad habit right there. I'm gonna try not to do that. Another one, lazy mindset. I think my mindset recently, it hasn't been as lazy recently, but I would say definitely overall in this season of my life, it's been pretty lazy. It's just like, you know? And so that's a habit I want to change. Scrolling at the start of my day, that's another big thing I want to change. And that I have been trying to kind of working on the past day or past couple of days or so. I just wake up and read now. Like I read my power of focus, then I read my Bible, and then I journal. And that seems to be really helping. Kind of kicks me off better for the day. I don't feel so sluggish. I feel a little bit more like accomplished in the morning, like I've actually done something, like I've already accomplished something for the day, so I can keep accomplishing for the rest of the day instead of like getting on your phone and like immediately listening to what someone else has to say. Most of it's pretty negative, I'd say, on social media. And so, yeah, I don't like waking up, and because I don't sleep with my phone next to me. I sleep with it downstairs, and I sleep upstairs. So I wake up, I shower, I go in my room, I get dressed. I do like my whole morning routine, and I come downstairs. But like within that morning routine, it's only been like 15 minutes. And so I come downstairs, like the 20-minute mark, I'm on my phone. And the first 30 minutes of your wake up is when you're most susceptible to information and like emotional pulse, or like emotional information. And so I would just wake up, I would go on my phone, and I would just be like pissed off, sluggish, just like lazy, or whatever it was. And that's a big thing in life, is fueling your thoughts with your surroundings. Like it even says in the Bible, bro. I almost said it right there. I pretty much did. That's what it says in the Bible. It's just the lump sum of who you hang out with and what you listen to is what you become. So it's just like, it's like in the Bible it says, it's not word for word, but don't hang around. I wrote it down today. Don't be afraid to leave rooms or presences of a fool, for you will meet no knowledge from them. Like, that's not word for word what the verse is, but that's what I wrote down in the summary of that verse. Just like, dude, like, try and get in rooms you can't be in. Try and be in places you don't belong in. Try and get job opportunities you don't belong to, like, in. Try and do something that's so out of the ordinary. Like, especially if you're around a bunch of fools, like, dude, you're not going to gain anything. Like, you got to break the mold. You got to do something kind of out of your normal behavior. And so that was one of them. Being inconsistent with God. That's a big one. I feel like my relationship is there. It's just some days it's stronger than others, which is completely normal as a human being. But I feel like I could easily try and be better about it all the time, I would say. Next, entertaining thoughts that don't make sense or matter or relevant. Like, dude, like, you can change how you think, how you believe, how you behave if you just stop entertaining those stupid, dumb, impulsive thoughts. Because when you have that little impulsive thought and you go like search down the tree of pathways it takes you, you're just like, these are thoughts that are dumb, that are just like not yours, that you need to take captive of. Because the more you explore these, the more it becomes your mentality, and what you tell yourself is what you become. And so it's just dumb to follow these little impulsive thoughts that are just not relevant to anything. Like I just couldn't name any right now off the top of my head, but I've had plenty of times where I've just entertained like stupid thoughts. So that's another one. Oh, thinking the way people want to see me is what's best, when instead I know me and I want to keep growing. What I'm trying to say in that is, stop trying to mold yourself to become the person that people want to see, because you know yourself better than anybody else. And I don't think it's fair to live an unhonest life that's full of people pleasing, because ultimately it brings you to ruin, because people are always going to let you down, your friends, your family, your whoever it is, whoever's near you, at some point will always let you down. Like, that's just a part of life. And that's a big thing that I've been trying to hold on to, is not placing my identity in what people have to say for me, but instead knowing myself and continuing to grow and continuing to, there was another bad habit, saying, continuing to grow I don't know. I think I've been subject this to that kind of scenario a couple of times where it's just like what are you doing? Like I'm just doing what I know is best. Like, and if I fail, I fail, and I learn and I grow. Like, sure. Um, and it's not even like always about personal life. It's like business for me most of the time. It's like, well, do you know what you're doing? Like yada yada yada. Like you were set so good up by somebody else. Like, no, dude, I did it myself. And so if you can do something yourself and get it started, like I did with window cleaning, I started it on the whim of my last $100 that I had in my savings from when I was like a kid. And I was like, screw it, dude. Like, I've seen it work. Why not try it? Like, if I can get at least one job, that means I've already made a return on my money and more. And so I used my last $100, went to Lowe's, got my cleaning gear, sold my first job, $250, made my money back. Boom, and I have more money. Keep growing on that. So there's another bad habit again. Keep saying Now, and there's also living for short-term gratification. I'd say everybody struggles with that, regardless of what it is, whether it's work, whether it's gym, whether it's personal, whether it's relationships, whatever it is. Like I'll give you an example. Having a hard conversation with your spouse because you want the short-term gratification of not having to work through that, but in reality, like working through it, getting on the other side will give you more clarity and more like weight lifted off your chest and more thankfulness and gracefulness and gratefulness overall when you just work through those hard things instead of just taking the good old like, well, maybe another day, and then have short-term gratification where you're not having a conversation with that person and it's just eating you up because you're being a little girl about talking to somebody, dude. Like, come on. Anyways, in the next page it says define how to solve them and then negative impact for not changing them. And I said, instead of saying use that moment of quote unquote to think about your answer. I could leave hundreds of thousands of dollars at the door if I say when I talk, and people in general might take me less serious. Dude, if I'm sitting there at the door, I'm like, hey miss, I'm just working down the street. Like I seem so unsure and unconfident, I feel like in my eyes. And so removing that would just make me feel a lot more confident, and confidence is a big game changer on the doors. I would say like you can do volume on doors and outwork the underconfidence, whatever it may be, but like having such good confidence, you just tend to sell more. Like when you're sure about something, instead of saying like you're gonna make more money, dude. There it is again. Sleep. The negative effects of poor sleep for me could mean brain fog, poor mood, low energy, which all contribute to personal and professional life. Sleep that's poor will also lower my test. Very true. There's a bad habit again, which will make it harder to lose weight, which is a big goal of mine. I wanna reach my goal weight and have my goal physique. Obviously, it's not gonna be easy, especially when you work most of the time during the summer or whatever. Wow, I keep saying it. At least I'm recognizing it, all right? That's the takeaway from this video. I'm recognizing it. Sleep that's poor will also lower my test, which will make it harder to lose weight. To help this, I'm setting an alarm for 11 p.m. every night as my cue to start moving to bed / start my night routine. Wow. My night routine's pretty simple, I'd say. Probably only takes me like 20 minutes. I'm trying to stop myself from saying I'm just gonna move on to the next instead of saying Scrolling will negatively impact my life by not allowing me to think freely. Because like when you wake up and you're just like mindlessly scrolling on your phone, you're not thinking freely first thing in the morning, and then that can translate into the rest of your day because you're just like, well, this is what somebody said on IG, and so now I should only think about that. Whatever. Scrolling will negatively impact my life by not allowing me to think freely, making me feel sluggish and creating bad habits of comparison to people on social media. Also, it pushes me away from reading my Bible to make change. Pushes me away from my Bible to make change for the better. I'm giving myself time to read in the morning and at night, which will not only keep me away from dopamine / my phone, but will help me become more knowledgeable. That was a hard read for some reason. My handwriting's terrible. Keep saying it. We're gonna use this as a learning strategy. We're not gonna get pissed. We're not gonna go. We're just gonna take this and keep moving forward. This is about to be a 20-minute video. That's crazy. Moving on to the next. Living for short-term gratification will ultimately lead to ruin because my actions every day are a step to my goal. So whatever I do or don't do is still a step in the direction I should be trying to go. And not doing something is not me. Is like me not moving. So like if I have my goal here, and this is me, and one action every day, so not taking short-term gratification and making an action every day, and I'm moving forward. But when I don't look for long-term gratification, I'm not moving or I'm going backwards. Arsenal just scored. Living for short-term gratification will ultimately lead to ruin because my actions every day are a step to my goals. And if I live for short-term gratification, my mindset gets lazier. I can't provide for my family. I can't be stress-free. I will be tired all the time. I will feel trapped to my emotions. I would say that's a big thing for gratification is short-term gratification. It's just like you become so subjected to what you feel in the moment instead of, oh, I'm watching this goal. You feel subjected to your emotions in the moment instead of looking further ahead and being like, well, I'm going to do this now so it benefits me in the future. To fix this, I'm doing one hard thing a day and building a habit of doing things now and not later. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm going to add this to the video because I accidentally just paused recording, but I'm still going in the same spot. Thinking that people see me a certain way means that I have to conform to that. My phone decided to get blown up. Thinking that people see me a certain way means that I have to conform to that is a big lie and a waste. Conforming to what people think will ultimately just lead to ruin. It should only be taking advice, A, from people in the position that you want to be in. B, I mean, clearly there's some people with just wisdom in general, and maybe the first one I said is more business related than it is personal. The second one, I almost said it right there. The second one with, taking people's advice who just have general wisdom. Maybe that's more relationship related, whatever. No one knows you fully, only you and God. What I just said. Allowing people to control who you are will lead to ruin in personal and professional life. Be you. The world doesn't need someone else. You do not need to be somebody else. And that's what people will try and conform you to. They will try and put you in this box and make you this certain person that they want to see. And the world does not need to see another one of them or another one of somebody that's already been a thing, You need to be different. You need to do different things. Everybody's life is different. You need to do different things. Just forget what they think, bro. Honestly. Allowing people to form you will keep you from achieving goals. People keeping you in a box will keep you from achieving your goals. Stop caring what people think. Take advice with thought process. So if someone does give you advice, I'm not saying don't take advice from anybody, but if someone does give you advice, take it with a grain of salt and think about it before you apply it, or before it even becomes like a thought in the front of your brain. Just keep it to the side, whatever. Just don't don't immediately jump into what they say all the time. Think about it, think it through. You know what's best for you, and so does God. Thought process with a grain of salt, but ultimately God has a plan and you align with that. So don't withhold yourself from potential. Letting people have dominion over you now, or dominion over you. Letting people have dominion over how you feel will lead to regret of not trying. So let's say in the future, like, you're just like an average dude, and early in your life you could have done it all, but you didn't because somebody else told you so. Doesn't that sound dumb? So why are we letting people control our lives to begin with right now? Like, even if you're in your 20s, dude, like, if you're in your 20s, sorry, I just keep getting sidetracked on this game. If you're in your 20s, dude, you can still start. You can still take your own action. There's never a time in life where you can't take action, honestly. Another bad habit. This video is a lot more mellow and a lot more slow paced just because I'm trying to get rid of that and just think about it. Am I mogging? No. All right, well, I will see you guys tomorrow, and actually tomorrow for this time. There's the bad habit again. I'm going to work on that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.